What's good, y'all? Time for a deal short. Listen, I know you guys have heard the stories. I don't know if you bothered to read it or listen to any of the radio stuff or watching any mainstream media stuff, but Senator Menendez, New Jersey senator out, is under indictment for corruption. They caught him with all kind of money, man, gold bars, man, cars, all the rest of it, bro. I keep telling everybody that will listen, man. These politicians, bro, are all bought and paid for. All of them. This guy, way too greedy. Way too greedy. This isn't the first time he's dealt with this sort of thing. But let's check out Sagar on Breaking Points and what he had to say about it.
Hello, everyone. Some amazing breaking news just happened. The U.S. Southern District of New York has just delivered an indictment against Democratic Senator Bob Menendez, the senior senator from New Jersey. And lo and behold, the indictment is for corruption. It's always the ones that you most expect. The details of this indictment, if we can go and put it up there on the screen, are just absolutely stunning. I'm just going to go ahead and read from the text themselves because it is so damning. Quote, Robert Menendez, the defendant, is the senior U.S. senator from the state of New Jersey from at least 2018 up to and including 2022. Menendez and his wife, Nadine, the defendant, engaged in a corrupt relationship with 3 New Jersey associates and businessmen. Now, Menendez agreed to and did accept hundreds of thousands of dollars in bribes in exchange for using his power and influence as a senator to seek, protect, and enrich the 3 businessmen and benefit the Arab Republic of Egypt. Those bribes.
So, right off rip, it doesn't matter. Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter, man. At that level, there's a whole lot of corruption. This guy just super greedy. Don't know why. You know what I mean? Just people, I don't know. And they believe that they're untouchable. They get away with this stuff for so long and then they get touched. But this guy is dumb. When you get into how they called him and what they called him with and the evidence that they have in this indictment, again, this is the Southern District of New York. It's the United States of America. This is a federal case. He's not going to get from under this one. Let's continue.
Included cash, gold, payments towards a home mortgage, compensation for a low or a no-show job, a luxury vehicle, and other things of value. This is just straight out of like an episode of The Sopranos. You really can't even make it up. They continue. Menendez promised to and did use his influence and power, breach his official duties in ways that benefited the government of Egypt and an Egyptian American businessman. He provided sensitive U.S. government information and took other steps that secretly aided the government of Egypt. He also improperly advised and pressured an official at the U.S. Department of Agriculture for the purpose of protecting a business monopoly granted to one of those individuals that I mentioned and Egypt, and used in part to fund the bribes being paid to Menendez. Second, he promised to and did.
I mean, bro, look at that. I thought it was India before because I briefly looked at some stuff, but it turns out it was Egypt. You got these business guys who are tied into the government, the Egyptian government, and they got a senator. They got the senior senator from New Jersey, and they got this guy working for them. And they gave him everything, money, gold, paying for houses, giving him jobs he didn't have to show up for. Think about that one. You got a job that's probably paying you $300,000 a year or whatever is paying you, and you don't even have to show up. You don't have to do it. Think about it. At that level, it's not like you got to do any real work anyway. We're going to put you in this think tank and we're going to pay you all this money and you don't even have to show up, bro. And this has been going on for a minute and you just doing this like, I'm not going to get caught. And Menendez is old, man. Like whatever sentence he gets out of this, that's it. He ain't going to see freedom again. He done. He gonna have to sit down. It'll be Club Med, of course. He's not gonna go. It'll be Club Fed. He's not gonna go into Pelican Bay or nothing like that. But he gonna sit down somewhere nice. It's gonna be part of his deal. It's definitely gonna be a plea. He's definitely gonna take some sort of deal. Whatever the feds offered him, I hope he takes because that's the best deal he's going to get. Let's continue.
Did use his influence and power to seek to disrupt a criminal investigation, a prosecution undertaken by the New Jersey Attorney General's office related to one of these individuals. And then third, he promised to and did use his influence and power, breach his official duty to recommend that the president of the United States nominate an individual to U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey who he believed could be influenced by him with respect to any federal prosecution of one of the people who was paying him. If you guys want to see the evidence, let's just go ahead and put this up there on the screen. Yeah, they discovered over $480,000 in cash in this man's house. Quote, much of it stuffed into envelopes hidden in clothing, as you can see in front of you, including jackets with his freaking name on it. Quote, was discovered along with over 70 grand in his wife's safe deposit box. Some of the envelopes included contained the fingerprints of and the DNA of the actual businessmen who were paying him. Quote, other envelopes were found inside of jackets bearing his name hanging in his closet as depicted. They also found this I can't even make up.
I'm curious to hear what he had to say about that money. So where does money come from? The money fairy put it in my jacket. Right, close to 500, like 470, $480,000 in cash just laying around the house inside of his closet, inside of clothes. Bro, you know how excited I get when I find like $20 in, I put on a suit jacket or a vest, go into the pocket, and it's like 20 bucks. Man, could you imagine putting on one of your shirts, going to the pocket, and you pull out $300,000? Ooh, what's this? Oh, it's $300,000. We lit. And bro, there's nobody paying taxes on this money. Gold bars, they got pictures of the gold bars. And then to sit there and say, well, I don't know where the money came from. And the feds are like, we do, because we got the DNA and the fingerprint evidence of the businessman that you are tied to that gave you this money. They probably got the audio, like, man, we got you on tape talking about the money. Bro, and his wife is involved, $70,000 in the safety deposit box. How did they get the key? You know what I mean? It's just the sloppiness, man. It just shows me how prevalent this sort of thing is. These guys are walking around with briefcases full of money, envelopes full of money. They do it all the time. All the time. Like this dude right here, he's just more greedy than the rest. But trust me, the rest of them are getting it as well. I'm not saying every single politician is dirty. I'm simply saying the big ones, the ones that everyone knows, the ones with the big names, the ones on TV all the time. Those are the ones you got to look at. Those are the ones who were bought and paid for. Let's continue.
Two gold bars that were depicted that you could see in the image. Two literal bars of gold, over $100,000 worth of gold sitting in the man's house. I mean, also parked in the garage of the Menendez home was a luxury vehicle that was provided by one of these businessmen. So, yeah, they're going to be having a press conference at 11 a.m. But I mean, the details of this are just too juicy. And to give everybody an idea, and why I said it was the people you most expect, Menendez has already been on trial for bribery and corruption charges. So in 2017, he actually had a mistrial after the feds brought the charges against him. It was a 6-day deliberation. For somehow he was able to beat 18 separate counts. Yeah. Anyway, I'm still very curious as to how that happened. The details of that.
Man, that's crazy. He already beat the feds. Maybe he doesn't realize how hard it is to beat the feds. He already beat the feds with a hung jury. So it's not like his lawyer team got him off and just beat the case. Nah, the jury 18 counts, and they probably had a plan in the jury. It's probably how they beat that. So he threw. Like to me, that would have been all right, man. That was a close call. Let me calm down. I don't need to be doing all this stuff. It seems like he went the other way. Like, well, they can't touch me. I'm Teflon, right? You look at what was going on with Clarence Thomas, Supreme Court Justice, who are taking these gifts from folks, property, trips, luxury trips on yachts and all this kind of stuff. That's the one end of the spectrum, which is like, all right, is this improper? I haven't really broken any rules. I did kind of report it, whatever. It doesn't look good. It's just, come on, man, this guy controls you, whatever. No, that's just my buddy. Nah, man, he's your buddy because you're a Supreme Court justice and you're going to rule in favor of whatever he needs you to rule on. That's why he's doing all that. That's why he gives you his private jet, his yachts, has you stay in this extremely super high-end residences and hotels and stuff like that. That's why he's doing it. That's that end. Then you got Menendez, right? The other end of that spectrum, who is just going crazy with it. Gimme, 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 gold bars, cars, houses. Give me a job that pays me a lot of money that I don't have to show up on, just over the top with it. And you have everything in between. This is what I'm telling you. People don't understand how dirty our political system is. It's so much money in it. You want to stop it, right? You got to overturn Citizens United. First of all, you got to do away with lobbyists, make it really hard. You got to take the dark money out of politics. If you take the money out of it, it's good. You know what I mean? I said Citizens United, right? Because sometimes I accidentally say Roe v. Wade, and I mean Citizens United. You got to overturn Citizens United, and you got to enact term limits. If you do those things, the money goes away to an extent. You're always going to be able to buy a person here or there. But right now, it's almost like you would be a fool not to take some of this money. The way that they throw in the money at and the way the rules are set up where you're allowed to actually take the money, you'll be a fool. Someone's giving you a $1 million townhouse to use while you're in DC voting, and you can take that town. We'll rent you this townhouse for $100 a month. It's $1 million townhouse. We'll rent it to you for $100 a month. You don't think they're gonna want a favor on the other end? Come on now. Let's continue.
That case, I mean, I've talked about it on the show before. He basically sold political influence, or allegedly, to this doctor for, quote, vacations in the Caribbean and Paris, flights on the doctor's jet, hundreds of thousands of dollars in contributions to campaign organizations that supported the senator directly or indirectly. In return, prosecutors at that time said that he pressured government officials on that doctor's behalf over an $8.9 million Medicare billing dispute and stalled a contract to provide port screening equipment in the Dominican Republic, and also helped obtain U.S. visas for the 63-year-old doctor's girlfriend. So, not exactly out of character for the senior senator from New Jersey. Honestly, good for the feds. They brought it.
I mean, the senior senator from New Jersey. And he's like, what's up, man? He's for sale. Like, what you need, bro? I can make that happen for you. I'm just going to need you to break it off over here. I'm going to need you to go ahead and drop that pack over there. This is just what the feds could find, and they know they can prove. What about all the stuff that they suspect? I mean, how deep does this particular rabbit hole go? Like, how bad is this guy? How dirty is this dude? We'll never know. Will he beat this case? No. Zero chance. Zero chance he beats this case. Are you supposed to never say zero? All right. It's like a 2% chance he'll beat this case. They got him. They got him. The gold bars, they didn't track all the money. They got him. He's definitely going to have to take a deal. There's already pressure for him to step down from his seat. You're going to have to, maybe the Republicans in Jersey will take this seat because it's going to have to be some sort of election, or I don't know how it works. Maybe the governor can just appoint somebody. I don't know. But again, Blagojevich in Illinois. I don't know if you guys know anything about that. But Blagojevich was trying to sell off Barack Obama's Senate seat when Barack went off to be president. It doesn't matter, Republican or Democrat. It does not matter, bro. The American political system is extremely corrupt. Everybody is getting money. And the only way we're going to change it is if we change the rules. You need term limits, first of all. Secondly, you got to limit the power of lobbyists. Third, you got to get rid of all of the dark money, period. You got to do away with Citizens United. You got to get rid of all the dark money. And once you do that, it'll change a little bit. They'll be doing the people's business. But right now, all they doing is getting paid, man. So let me know what you think. Link it down below. Am I on one? Am I telling the truth? You know what I mean? Am I taking it too far? If I'm not taking it far enough, y'all let me know, man. I'm going to talk to you later, bro. I'm DL Saint. Peace.